Hi, my name is Julie Landrew, and I'd like to welcome you here to the Resurrection Ranch. I'd like to start with how I obtained the Resurrection Ranch. Approximately 10 years ago, I was offered this place. I grew up in my little town of now then here as a teenager, and always had visions of this 100-year-old, century-old dairy farm here to work with teenagers, along with horse therapy from handicap and autism children. And waited many years for this property to become available, and after the farmer that contacted me that owned it and knew that I was interested in it encouraged me to bring my family, return here from Arizona to purchase the Resurrection Ranch. And that was in 2000. In 2005 I put an addition onto my home after restoring a lot of the outbuildings and the home itself. And in 2005, I had hired a contractor to build an addition, and as a result of failure and shoddy work of the contractor, I had 3 pages of failed inspection and a lot of code violations. So after securing some funds to fix the problems and remedy the issues that were caused by the contractor, it's just kind of my story is that a domino effect happened, and it seems like with everybody's stories, it starts with something and then it's like a train wreck ready to roll. And as a result of the failure of the contractor providing the remedies to fix the property, I had obtained this loan, and I had a stolen identity, which ultimately put me into a very depressed mode, and I was hospitalized on cardiac floor for the stress that was enduring. And when I had returned home, my daughter from college returned and encouraged me that the Resurrection Ranch was everything that I had hoped and wished for it and visualized. And as a result of my depression, I gave up, and I missed 4 house payments. And after her counseling of encouraging me to pull my bootstraps up and wasn't going to go down without a fight, what had happened is it was too late for me to obtain financing or to refinance to pull myself out of a foreclosure. I am a real estate agent as a profession, and knowing all too well the ramifications as a result of failing to meet your obligations with your mortgage, I ended up trying to secure refinance, and as a result of being so far behind and delinquent, my loan officer encouraged me to talk to some investors that he had that could certainly remedy my situation and bail me out of my foreclosure. I was a little hesitant about it. Obviously I was embarrassed and I was ashamed of the things that had transpired in my life, and I confided in these investors, and they assured me in my town here of now then that they had done a similar transaction and helped a family out. As a result of not really feeling okay with the situation and how they were proposing it, I felt desperate and scared and no way out, and they assured me that I could trust them. Not knowing the implications of what I was getting into, the terms of the agreement with the investors had changed ultimately the morning of our closing. I was reluctant to actually do the closing, and as sitting at the table with the title company, my spirit told me to run because of the terms that had changed and in jeopardizing losing the farm. I did get up from the closing table in hysteria of tears and thinking I was going to be leaving out the door, as one of the investors caught me and said, "We're here to help you, you can trust us." Upon that, I signed the papers and gave my home over to somebody else on the promise that I was going to be receiving a contract for deed within a week or two. 2 weeks went by, and unfortunately they started avoiding my calls. I started to panic, and not knowing where to go or who to talk to, went to my real estate broker and explained what I had done. Chastised me a bit for not coming and talking to him prior to doing this, but the sheer embarrassment and the shame that came with what was happening in my personal life, and as a professional, I hesitated to share it with associates or fellow real estate estate agents that probably could have given me a different direction. As a result of being now, my home was in somebody else's name. I had nothing substantiating that the farm was mine and had been. And primarily, I believe it's called a bailout, foreclosure bailout. That was what I was categorized. I sought out attorneys, a couple different attorneys that I had become acquainted with, and they really had never had experience my situation. And as I started investigating on my own of what was going on, I had come to discover that these investors, a month after I had done this transaction, they not only had secured a first mortgage on the property, but they also secured a second and a third that were simultaneously done the same day with two different title companies. The second was $110,000, the third was $160,000. They had maxed out my home over $700,000 in liens and had pocketed the cash.